Today, the state is requesting the temporary order be turned into a final order where Ms. Pasquale's monthly resources are set at Florida minimum wage. I believe 9% of $2,253.33 is $202.79. There's one child before the court. Mr. Steger has TRICARE for the military. It costs $51 per month and $18 for dental. And we're asking that child support be set at $382 per month beginning the 1st of February 2025. And her net resources, I guess, are $1,911.43, and that the percentage is 20%. However, Miss Pasquale is in the midst of applying for disability, Your Honor, and I believe she has some additional things to say about that. That is all, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Golder.
Thank you, Judge. I would concur with Ms. Betzler. We're here asking for a final order. We're asking that the court set child support at guideline beginning February 1st, 2025, and order that my client maintain the insurance and that the mother pay cash medical in the amount of $51 for health and $18 for dental.
Okay.
That would be all.
All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and swear the parties in. Then Ms. Pasquale, I'll let you make tell the court after the testimony is over what you're requesting as far as your circumstances is concerned. Ma'am, at this time, if you have not, I'm assuming there's no such thing as Florida disability. I'm assuming that you're trying to get SSDI or even SSI, whichever. But until there's a finding by the federal government that you're disabled, ma'am, and eligible for SSDI or SSI, but I can only take a snapshot in time. And I know I'm not sure if it's any faster than Florida, but it takes a while. It's been taking a while down in Texas for anybody once they start a Social Security disability claim. It's usually a 2-year trek at a minimum. But if you're close to the end of that, obviously you can make once it happens, you can request a modification of your child support based on those circumstances, ma'am. But it's got don't sit on it. That's the problem. A lot of times people sit on it and it doesn't get done, and they're still falling behind.
Okay.
And you would need to let the father know if you've got enough quarters and you get SSDI, then you would definitely let the father know that you've got an SSDI and that he needs to go to his local Social Security office and get the child set up on the SSDI, because the payment will come from the federal government for that. Now, if you only get an SSI, then no, they won't do that. But the court can't, but I'll let the state talk to you afterwards about what the possibilities are. But I hope I'll get some information during the testimony whether or not you're eligible to get whether or not you're eligible to get SSDI, or we're looking strictly at SSI. But again, ma'am, until then, obviously, I got to look at ordering child support based on what you should be able to earn. And if you're in Florida minimum wage, and until you're declared to be disabled under the eyes of the law, technically you're not. But anyway, I'll get all that from the testimony and your final closing statement, ma'am. But at this time, I want to ask both you and the father to unmute yourselves and raise your right hands and let me get you. You both are, so let's get you on the record. Thank you. So at this time, do both of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're both officially under oath, and then I'll let the state go ahead and call you as witnesses. You can put your hands down, and then I'll let the Mr. Is that pronounced Steger, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Steger's attorney cross-examine. And then, ma'am, like I say, at the end, you'll be able to give a closing statement or closing argument based on anything that didn't come out while you were testifying. So at this time, I'll let the state go ahead and call you both as witnesses. You may proceed at this time, Ms. Betzler.
Thank you.
Okay, state calls Katie Pasquale.
Yes.
Ma'am, will you state your name?
Katie Pasquale?
Katie, are you currently employed?
No.
And do you live in the state of Florida?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you not employed?
Because I'm in the midst of a disability case, and it is being handled under the counsel of Morgan & Morgan. And one, I can't work. Two, they advised me not to work. I have partial paralyzation in my left leg currently, as well as Crohn's disease and lupus.
Okay.
So any
Okay,
type
ma'am,
of
you don't have to go into detail. This is being broadcast all over the world, so you don't have to go into much detail about your medical information, okay? I'll stop
I'm
you from
just
that.
trying to explain myself a little. That's
Not a
all.
problem, ma'am. The court's well, I used to be a disability lawyer a long time ago in the Galaxy 402. And if you got a law firm representing you, that's a good chance that this is going to get you'll get where you need to go. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big law firm too. And
All right,
they represent all over the country.
All right, then. Well, I'll let you say that's the next question. Again, just don't go into, you don't have to go into detail about what your ailments are. Okay, ma'am? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you may proceed, Ms. Betzler.
But the disability has not been granted to you yet, correct?
No.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, real quick, ma'am. How long have you been going through this process?
Since August, well, since August of 2023, really.
Okay. How long have you had a lawyer on it?
It's been since 2024.
All right. Have you had a hearing yet before Social Security, as administrative judge yet?
Not yet, but we're getting there. We're getting close. They've already gone ahead and did the request for reconsideration.
All right then, ma'am. All right, yeah, you're further along, but you still got a ways to go. Because, but anyway, I'll let the Miss Golder ask you questions at this time. Thank you. Let's go to your witness.
Thank you. Ma'am, you are currently residing in Florida,
Yes, correct.
and would you agree with me that Florida minimum wage is $13 per hour?
I guess it is, sure.
When was the last time you were employed?
Wage in Florida, so if it's 13, it's 13.
When was the last time you were employed?
2023.
And what were you employed? What was your position?
I was I sold internet. I retired from nursing in 2022.
When you say you retired from nursing, are you receiving retirement?
No,
Okay.
the Crohn's just got to be way too much. So, and I was having joint.
What kind of a
problems.
nurse were you?
I did everything, from labor and delivery to hospice.
Have you applied for any remote type of, I guess, telehealth nursing positions?
I did that before when I was a clinical research coordinator.
My question is, have you recently applied for any telehealth RN positions or nursing positions?
No, my license needs to be renewed.
Okay, is that something you could do, work remotely?
Not really, because I get very tired after working or even just sitting up for a couple of hours. So
Okay.
I have like chronic fatigue from the Crohn's and the lupus.
And what were you making, what was your salary as a nurse?
Well, really, it was anywhere between 17 and 55 an hour, depending on what my position was. The 55 an hour was the clinical research coordinator during COVID.
And that was the remote position?
Yeah, it was like hybrid.
Okay.
Because we were researching the AstraZeneca vaccine.
You have received some Social Security disability in the past, is that right?
In the past, yeah.
And that was terminated in 2018 or 2019? Ms. Pasquale, if you will please let me finish my question before you try to speak.
I
Because
apologize, ma'am.
Zoom can't hear and record both of us at the same time, okay? We can't talk over each other.
Gotcha.
Okay. You were last, when was the last time you received Social Security disability?
Well, according to Social Security, when I asked them last, it paused for a little bit in 2019, and then I got it back all the way up to 2021. They told me 2021 was the last time I received it.
Well, you have access to your bank account, right?
Yes.
Do you have a guardianship over your estate?
I don't have an estate.
Okay, and so if you're receiving Social Security disability, you would be the person that receives that money, right?
Correct.
When was the last time you received Social Security disability?
2021.
Okay.
According to Social Security, yes.
And was your son eligible for benefits based on your disability? Were
Yes. Yes, he was
Okay.
getting $701 a month.
were you in 2021, were you receiving that money, or when was the last time you received the money for the child?
I never received any money for the child. He's had the child since he was 4 years old.
Okay. You would agree with me that the child we're talking about, he turns 18 in August,
He does. in
and he's
6
already
weeks.
graduated from high school.
Correct.
Okay, so we're just talking about a couple more months of child support.
Yeah, like 6 weeks worth.
Okay, and you don't have a hearing yet or anything within the next scheduled before his 18th birthday?
No.
Okay. Have you applied for any part-time remote positions?
I've looked at a few, but they all like have set scheduled hours. If there was something that I could like maybe do for a few
All right,
hours, come
ma'am,
back.
I'm sorry. Ma'am, listen to the question. The question was, have you applied? You don't have, I know you say you may have looked, but have you applied? That's what that was the
Oh,
question.
no,
Okay, thank you.
no, they told me not to work Morgan and Morgan.
And so you are intentionally not working for your disability claim, is that right?
That, and also I'm partially paralyzed in the left leg. I can't walk without an assistive device.
I pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Anything on redirect, Ms. Betzler?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. Any other, I'll let you call your next witness, please.
State calls Michael Stagar. Michael, will you state
Yes,
your
ma'am.
name?
Michael Stacker.
Stagger. I'm sorry, it's Mr. Stagger.
It's fine.
So you are getting TRICARE for Nicholas, correct?
Yes, ma'am. TRICARE
And it costs what, 51 for the medical and 18 for the dental, right?
Approximately, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's go to your witness.
Thank you. Mr. Stagger, have you received any of the temporary child support that was ordered back in March?
No, ma'am.
And prior to that temporary order, the mother was actually ordered to maintain the insurance. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And she did not do so, did she?
No, ma'am.
And has she ever reimbursed you for any of the medical expenses that you've incurred for the child?
Not since I became the custodial parent when he was 4, ma'am.
You're asking the court to set child support beginning February 1st of this year, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You requested the Attorney General's office seek a modification back in 2023, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the mother, there was difficulty getting her served, is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
When is the last time you recall receiving any Social Security disability benefits for the child?
2018 or 2019, ma'am.
And in regards to expenses for the child, the mother was previously ordered to pay for all those travel expenses as well. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you actually end up paying for the child to visit her many times?
Yes, ma'am. It was either me, my mother, or her mother would pay for him to visit her.
Is it your position that the mother in this case has essentially failed to support the child in accordance with the court order so far?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're asking the court to consider that in the court's order today?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Betzler?
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Pasquale, technically you can ask questions of the witness, but I'll make all pro se litigants run questions through me first to see whether or not they're appropriate. I want the lawyers jumping up and down yelling objection, objection. So do you have any questions of the witness, ma'am?
Well, the only question I have is why he didn't ask for child support sooner.
Okay, ma'am. Again, that's not an appropriate question. We deal with what we have. You know, we're here and we look at dates, and it is what it is. So that's
Yeah.
not an appropriate question, ma'am.
Okay, well, can I ask him that since we talked earlier, like years ago, about this situation, and they said, well, just pay for the travel expenses because that's all that was in the original
Ma'am,
order.
you're testifying. You're testifying now, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Huh?
I know you're not a lawyer. You don't know how to do it correctly, ma'am. I apologize.
okay.
But at this point, I've got to go back over the overall pleadings here. I didn't see anything in here about unreimbursed medical expenses or unreimbursed travel expenses. Is there anything like that pled for, Ms. Betzler, in the state's information, or and Ms. Golder, did y'all counter for something along those lines? And I'll start with the state. Okay.
Sorry, Judge, I have to check. Hang on.
I don't believe we don't have that in our counter. I'm just I do think it's relevant in the award of child support. I think based on the testimony, I would just ask you to consider all those relevant facts. But we don't have a confirmation of that at this point.
All right, thank you. And I don't think the state filed for one either. So again, we don't have them print out the whole file from Corio County here, but yeah. All right. Anyway, I don't, and again, it definitely wasn't addressed in the temporary orders either. All right, is there anything else of this witness at this time, Ms. Betzler?
No, Your Honor.
All right, okay, any other witnesses that need to be called at this time, Ms. Betzler?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Golder, anybody else you wish to call or anybody else you wish to recall, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to let the lawyers make a closing statement, and at the end, Ms. Pasquale, I'll let you make a closing statement too, if you wish. But at this time, I'll go ahead and ask the lawyers to tell me specifically what they're requesting me the order here today, and I'll start with you, Ms. Golder, to go to the state. And then I'll go to Ms. Pasquale, and then I'll go to the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. We are asking the court to enter a final order today. As you heard, the child will very shortly be 18, and the order will terminate. He's already graduated, and so we are wanting to reach a conclusion on this. As we are not wanting to delay the issue at all in regards to the pending litigation with the Social Security, just for the uncertainty of that decision. We would like a final today. We're asking the court to order child support going back to February 1st, 2025, which is what is stated in the temporary order. We understand you can't go any further based on service, but I would ask the court to go back to February 1st, 2025, in taking into consideration this suit was filed in 2023. We're asking the court to order the mother to pay cash medical in the amount of $51 for health and $18 for dental, based on the testimony that is less than the 9% of her gross resources if we were based on minimum wage. In regards to the amount of child support, I would ask the court to set it based on guidelines, and in determining what those guidelines would be. The minimum wage for child support, or the minimum wage in Florida, is $13 an hour. However, we have heard from the mother that she has held positions making anywhere from $17 to $55 per hour, that she could potentially work a remote part-time position, and that she is not working because her disability lawyer told her not to. She was receiving disability in the past, and it was terminated. And so if I do the quick math on 20 hours a week at $55 an hour, her monthly gross resource would be $4,766. Full-time at $13 an hour, roughly $22.53 a month for the gross is what I'm getting. So I would ask the court to set the support in that range, but I would defer to the court in determining what the appropriate amount is.
All right, thank you. All right, then, I'm sorry, oh, you moved on me, Ms. Pasquale. Sorry. Zoom people move around sometimes. I was looking in the wrong spot. All right, ma'am, do you have anything to make as a closing statement at this time, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor. At this moment in time, even though my lawyer said not to work, I still can't work myself because I take a couple of hours, I'm up, and then I'm so exhausted I have to lay back down. And between that and then the leg being partially paralyzed with the Crohn's and the lupus, it's just not feasible for me to be sitting up at a desk 8 hours a day. And with that, I mean, I don't mind paying the child support, but and my lawyer even put in a letter to Social Security saying that I've got a hardship situation going on. And I even explained to her about the child support situation. So that she sent a letter to Social Security to see if we can get things moving along quicker. That way we can get this situation going and get Nicholas the money he needs for college. Because I'm not denying that he needs child support. It's just my health situation is very crazy right now because I'm always in the hospital as well. So, like, even if I was to get a remote position, I probably would be in the hospital at least twice a month. So that,
and I heard your testimony earlier, what you actually are suffering from, ma'am. So is there anything else?
Excuse me, Your Honor, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. I heard what you said. Your maladies are, what you're suffering from, and what your attorneys are basing the disability request on. Is there anything else, ma'am?
Oh yeah. Like I was saying, even though she mentioned getting a remote job, it's not feasible for me to work on like 9 to 5 at a desk or anything like that, because after a couple of hours, I'm exhausted and have to lay down.
Yes, ma'am. You already testified to that. You already told the court that. Thank you.
Oh, okay. And also I'm in the hospital at least twice a month. So, I mean, for me I would have to work in while I'm in the hospital if I take a remote position. So, I don't mind paying child support, but I need some ideas on how to do it without having to work.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'll let the state make their closing, and then I'll be ready to go. Thank you. Well,
Okay,
I'll sort of be able to go. I definitely need to get a copy of the pleadings from Corio County. So I'll go ahead and let the state make their closing. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe that the numbers that Ms. Golder gave are correct. Minimum wage, I guess 13 an hour and so on. And I'm really sympathetic to Ms. Pasquale's situation. I mean, it really does sound like she's hurting and you know, is applying for disability like she's supposed to. And I'm glad that I don't have to make the hard decisions and then you're going to make the decision, Your Honor. But I guess if we're looking at the snapshot in time, then right now she's not employed and lives in Florida, so it should be minimum wage in Florida, and that she should pay back the cash medical at 51 and 18, and the child support should be set at as in the temporary orders, Your Honor. That's all.
All right, everybody. I tell you what I got to do. I need to, like I said, we use a short form case file when we do these cases. I'm going to have Belinda download the original order in this matter along with the motion to modify, where I can see everything that it and get a time frame of everything that's been ongoing. I'm going to go ahead and since we're already into the first of the month anyway, and the child's going to be is already 18 in it. I mean, getting ready to turn 18 and graduating. I'm going to go ahead and reset this matter for a ruling on my next week's docket. Nobody has to show up. I just need to go ahead and set this up for a ruling and not let it fall through the cracks. So I'll have the state reset this matter, and let me bring up my Zoom docket for next week. Okay, I got a general docket on the 8th, on next Tuesday, so I'm gonna reset this matter next Tuesday. And like I said, it'll give me a chance to go over that original order and the pleadings and the citation and everything else. And that way I can see whether or not and a copy of Ms. Golder's counter. And that way I can see what I may or may not be able to do one way or the other. Because at best, I may be able to order based on the minimum wage for that time frame. Because again, she doing the time frame requested, it doesn't sound like she's been able to. I'm sorry, it doesn't sound like she was disabled. She may have been disabled, but she hadn't been working, and so I'll have to use the minimum wage presumption. Or if there's something in the pleadings that allow me to do something different, I'll take a look at it. The other thing I'll have Ms. Golder and take a look at is I never represented a dependent in a Social Security case. And I know if there was an ongoing case and child support was owed, the dad would be entitled to a lump sum payment of that child support, that Social Security that the child would be entitled to under the age of 18. So you might want to look into that and see whether or not that's still available if it all happens after the child turns 18. I haven't looked at that in a long time. So there may be that, and I know the child may be eligible for it if he's in school after the age of 18. So, you know, that's still something that's out there. So again, the circumstances are that if mom gets disability, those payments can still come in to the child if the child's possibly in school. So that might help going forward no matter what. But anyway, I'll let y'all look into that, and I'll make my ruling on this case next Tuesday. I don't think I have anything on the on that 10 o'clock thing I like to do when I have reset for pre-trials. So next Tuesday I'm not showing one, so I'll be able to go straight into and make the ruling as soon as we get through with the docket and everybody gets set up. So Ms. Golder, if y'all want to show up, you want to show up, or somebody shows up, it should be somewhere real close to 10 o'clock, but around 10 a.m. I'll set this for 10 a.m. next Tuesday to make a final ruling on this. So at this time, do either of the attorneys have any questions? And I'll start with you, Ms. Golder, then go to Ms. Betzler, and then I'll go finally to Ms. Pasquale. Thank you. So any questions, Ms. Golder?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Betzler? Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. Pasquale, any questions, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then again, y'all don't have to show up. This is, like I say, I do this as a placekeeper, but if you want to, obviously it's your case, y'all can show up at, but you don't have to sit through the morning announcements again. Like I say, I will not make this announcement until at least 10 a.m. in the morning. Thank y'all all very much. And y'all free to go, and I'll start getting the necessary paperwork from Corio County and look at and review all the pleadings. And like I say, I'll make that ruling and get it done. If y'all get a letter ruling out before then, which I doubt because this is this is only a 3-day work week, so I don't think this is going to get done by Friday. So yeah, everybody's taking a 4-day weekend. So we'll see how that works out. But if I do get it out, I'll try to do so, and obviously y'all get a letter, and that way no one has to show up. But again, I'm setting the placekeeper for next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you,
Yes, Your Honor.
Anna.
I'll get that reset.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and we're off the records, and everybody be safe out there. Thank you.